Welcome back to Stat Startup's Essential Business Building Blocks training series. In this volume, we'll discuss marketing basics. I'm Mike McElroy, founder of Stat Startup, and a lifetime entrepreneur, marketer, and professional competitive strategist. The marketing basics volume will cover the key terms and elements you need to understand to start your business right the first time. We're going to get into the terms you're going to come across and then explain each one of those in detail as we go. We're going to talk about the marketing process, the target market, demographics, psychographics, competition, segmentation, and positioning. The first thing any new practice or business must do is determine the target market. I know what you're thinking. You want to be able to offer your service to everyone, but this is just a place to start. This is not a lifetime commitment. By focusing hopefully on something that you already like, that you're already passionate about, and using that as we factor that into your target market, it'll give you a place to have a good basis. Maybe you've already got some existing customers and testimonials. What we're looking for is just a place to get started, and this is where we want to pick something that you already like. If we can work through this process and end up in a place where you want to be, if you've already got clients that you like working with, we want to see if we can work the target market into those folks. Because ultimately, like I've said before, it can get difficult. So if you're already focusing from the very beginning on people that you want to work with and on a market segment that you like to work in, it's going to help you through the tough times. So it's all about finding that target market. And that's what we're going to get into. After we get through these basics, the target market's going to become a big part of what we're doing. So what is the market process? Okay, Coulter describes the marketing process as analyzing market opportunities, selecting the target market, developing the market mix, and managing the marketing effort. There's a lot of pieces there. This isn't the normal stuff you hear about, but you've got to find a target market to figure out who it is you're going to talk to. And then developing the marketing mix. What does that mean? And that means that you may find them in one location and you can market hard to that location. They may only be people coming from the web. They may be people that you work directly through networking groups, etc. But the marketing mix is managing how you're going to reach those folks, and then managing the marketing effort. There's a lot of hours and effort that can be put in if it's marketing specifically in networking groups, if it's selling and you're spending your time selling, if it's at trade shows, if it's with magazine articles and periodicals. There's a lot that goes into that. So just the marketing process. Coulter describes the marketing process as a process. Coulter describes the marketing process as the process of analyzing market opportunities, selecting the target market, developing the marketing mix, and managing the marketing effort. There's a lot of pieces to marketing here, and we're going to get into those as we go through this process, and all of these will be covered. So first is demographics. Demographics are the fixed attributes of a customer or your customer population that you're going for. It's their age, where do they live and work, socioeconomic class, gender, family status, do they have kids, are they educated, what's their income bracket, how can you reach them? There's a lot of pieces in play here. And psychographics. Psychographics are the habits of consumers. It's what drives buying behavior ultimately. The study of personality, values, attributes, interests, and lifestyles really boil down to what psychographics are. It's what direction are people going to lean when they're thinking about making a purchase, thinking about joining a group, thinking about being part of a demographic or economic segment or whatever the case may be. This really drives buying behavior, and you really want to get an understanding of who your target customer is and what their psychographics are. Habits and lifestyle. Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they mothers or mothers wanting to be? What other character traits do they share that you're looking for? And do they like to partner with somebody that they're working with? Or would it be somebody that just wants to make a one-time purchase? Do they want to buy a car and keep seeing that same salesperson over many years? Or do they just want to do it once and go to the next place the next time? Are they dependent on the people that they consume from? Are they dependent on their doctors, dependent on their accountants, and always going back? Or are they completely independent and only reach out from time to time as they need help? What's their culture? What's their heritage? What's their background? Where are they from? Are they healthy? Are they focused? Or is it just lucky? Do they diet and exercise, or do they have good genes? These are pieces you're going to have to figure out as you're going. Are they athletic? Do they compete? Are they just a weekend person that jogs once in a while? As you're looking into your target market that fits your business, you want to think about all of these pieces, because we're going to want to use these things to figure out how we're going to find them and how we're going to appeal to them and create a solution that you have as a company that answers a need or solves a problem that they have. Now let's talk about competition. Competition is extremely important, and as a competitive strategist, this is near and dear to my heart. A lot of businesses, especially small businesses, get out there and they realize that they're competing with everybody else. And if you're in a crowded space and you're right along offering the same thing that everybody else does, it's a very difficult time. You can't be the fourth or fifth or sixth person or business down the line offering the same service. I mean, how many garden centers can you think of right now? You know, how many auto repair shops can you think of? How many doctors? How many lawyers? Typically, people can think of one, two, maybe three places. The studies that have been done, if you think about shoe companies, for instance, the most typical people can remember is about 7. You know, unless you're really into a particular space, think about 7 types of wine or 7 types of beer or the last 7 movies you saw, things like that. It doesn't go very far. So if you come into a crowded space and you're number 13 that's offering the same, you know, business taxes or personal taxes to be done in March and April, it's probably going to be pretty hard to get that business, because everybody thinks immediately H&R Block. They think about their accountant. For you to just slip right in that spot is probably going to be difficult. So we want to know who else is serving your market. That's what the competitive analysis is going to be. We're going to talk about that. Ultimately, what do you know about those competitors? You want to find out who's competing in your space and learn everything you can about them. It might be that they're focused on the high end, but there's space there for a low cost provider. Maybe you could slip into the low cost. So we really want to know everything we can about the competition. This is really going to help us develop the competitive strategy. Okay, this is sophisticated stuff here, and we're going to walk you through it step by step. Stat Startup really takes a deep dive into understanding your competition and developing your unique position in the marketplace, and that's all around and all about competitive strategy. We want to know, ultimately, while we're developing the competitive strategy, your market's going to come out of that, your target market. We're going to segment, like I said before. If somebody is in the same space you're in, but they're at the very high end, maybe you could develop a low-cost model. Maybe you could develop a broader range of services model for that same market and not necessarily compete head-to-head, but be known for something within that space that may otherwise be crowded. And differentiation. What are you going to be known for? What makes you different than your competitors? So market segmentation. This is finding a group of buyers to focus on. Literally, it means separating the group of potential buyers into 2 or more subcategories using specific criteria. Efficient resource management in efforts to spend time and money targeting those most likely to buy. That's what segmentation gives you. It's an efficient way to reach out to those people. You only have so much money and so much time to spend. If you're going after a particular market segment, you can be the most efficient and logical and polished as you're reaching out to those folks. You just don't want to sort of shoot a shotgun everywhere. You want to go after somebody in particular. And you want to be an expert. You don't want to be a me too. You really want to create yourself as the authority in the space, so you're the go-to business provider, service, or practice for those needs that your target market shares. If you're not known for something, you won't be known for anything. That's really huge. Think about that. When you think about different companies, Campbell's Soup, Bacardi Rum, Budweiser Beer, Marlboro Cigarettes, things like that, you automatically know what they are. Those businesses are very focused, and they have a segment of the population that knows exactly where to get the solution to that need or that want from that company. So ultimately, we want to move you in that direction. So market segment is extremely important. and in segmentation of that market, okay? What part of the market are you going to serve and focus on? For instance, is it going to be women? Okay, well, what age group of women? Is it going to be teenage girls? Is it going to be young women in college? Is it going to be moms? Is it going to be elderly women? Is it going to be empty nester women? What area or segment of that market are you going to focus on? For instance, is it if you are into healthcare or fertility or dieting or fitness or healing in some way, do you want to focus on want to be mothers? You want to focus on female problems, which is a whole different sort of subset within the female group of a certain population. Female problems, it could be menopause, it could be fertility, getting pregnant. So we're going to start thinking deeper here about not just women, it's what age, what stage are they at in their life? What particular problems or needs do they have that you can solve with your business? Are they mothers? Do they have kids? Do they need to buy clothes for those kids? Are those kids infants? Are they teenagers? Are they having their first baby? Are they grandmothers? You know, who are these people? We're going to dig deep into this. And then where are you going to find them ultimately? Are they school mothers? And then you can reach out in the school associations and get their attention and get a hold of them and put your offer or your benefit or your service in front of them. Women's functions, networking, friends. How are you going to reach those people? The more that you know about your target market, the easier it will be to figure out how you're going to reach them and how you're going to get your solutions in front of them. Okay, finding the target market. All right. So this is a big question that a lot of people have that I work with, and it's completely normal. Basically, why can't I sell to everyone? Why not? That is a big issue that comes up over and over and over again. So again, we're not trying to limit you here. This is just a starting point. We want to find the easiest place for you to get your business into the market and have a foundation to build from. This is just the start. It's that somewhere to start place. The first thing a new practice or business must do is determine their target market. You have to know which direction you're going to go in. And remember again, the key is to starting in some place you're already comfortable. You don't want to necessarily go completely outside of your comfort zone to try something new. You want to go someplace you've got some comfort in, you've got some expertise, you have some years of experience. So when you come into this market, you're carrying the best you have with you to deliver to the marketplace. If you're new and you get niched into some place that's tight, it's a lot easier to change and modify things once you're already good at a certain spot. You know, why is it not limiting? Okay, so first of all, with your target market, you have to find a place to get in. I've heard it called the beachhead by somebody you used to work with. Great marketer. And you want to find a place where you can get traction as a company and start gaining customers, start earning business. As you do that, you're going to then find that those customers have other needs. You're going to learn more about your marketplace and discover there's other needs that are going unmet in that marketplace. Once you already have a foundation, then you can address those other marketplaces. You can address those customers' other needs. And when you develop the expertise of defining a target market and focusing on it, once you have that skill set, you can then take that skill set and apply it to another market that comes up another day. If customers are coming in, say for instance, if you start off in cupcakes and the go-to baker is retired and people are coming and asking you for wedding cakes, well, I would suggest you start looking into wedding cakes. Evaluate the competition, see what's going on in the marketplace, find out what you can charge, find out how much business you might be able to do, and give it a shot. You've already got a place. You're solid. You have a foundation. You've worked out your systems in the kitchen, et cetera, et cetera. You know how you're doing your business. If you just add something new in, you're doing it based on experience and expertise and applying it to a different place. So that's what's good about the target market. It's going to get you in, and then you can expand as we go. Also, you only have so much time in the day. And everybody doesn't want what you have. You have to pick that place where there's people that want what you have. If you just open up like a Home Depot, I don't know, do you have $50 million to put into this business? Or are you starting up with a small foundation, a small nest egg, or trying to borrow some money? You can't necessarily just jump out there and compete at a huge level and try to meet everyone's needs. You need to find that sweet spot that you can get in the door in. And you can't afford to ask everyone if they want what you have either. Okay, if you're asking everyone, then that means you're doing Super Bowl ads and you're on regular television and then you're in the newspaper all the time. That is extremely expensive. You want to find something that's a little narrower that you can offer. If you're in a smaller town and you put up a sign on the main road, that might be all you need. So it's not necessarily you have to spend big money, but we want to find that place where you can find a good spot. And again, you need to be known for something that's important to your target market. If, for instance, you're a realtor, there's different places you can focus on. So as a realtor, you could be obviously the standard residential realtor. You could be the realtor that specializes in duplexes and triplexes, sort of those starter investment properties. You could be the realtor that focuses on foreclosures and stress properties. You could be the realtor that focuses on strip malls or larger commercial parcels. You could sell lots only or focus on waterfront. There's many different niches, and I know you're familiar with some realtors in your own area that have picked these niches. The same thing applies to your business. You want to find that place that you can be known for, and that's your stepping into the market. And you need to solve a problem that your target market has. All right? Once you've earned their business, like I said before, then you can help them with other problems. But get in, if you're a chiropractor and you specialize on auto accidents and getting people back to work from the back pain or the neck pain, once you're there and you're a solution provider, you can start asking questions. I noticed that you play tennis. How's your shoulder feel? How's your elbow feel? How's your wrist? I noticed that you sit at work all the time. How's your carpal tunnel? Do you have any issues with that? How is your legs? So once you get in and you have this target market, you can start selling them other products. You can start offering them other services that will benefit them. And positioning. After you have decided who your target market is, how are you going to position yourself relative to your competitors? We want to find a good spot there that you can stand out and be remembered. You need to be the provider of choice for what it is you're choosing to go out there and provide. And different. What makes you different? What makes you stand out? They need to remember you. Like I said before, people can't typically remember too deep in any sort of category of one kind. I mean, how many kinds of soup is there out there? How many brands of orange juice can you remember? How many brands of milk? And these are just things you come by every day. How many brands of cars can you name off the top of your head in a couple of seconds? 7 is about as far as it goes. So if you enter a crowded space and you're not positioned and differentiated from your competitors, no one's going to see you, no one's going to hear you. You'll get a little bit of business maybe, but once you really get moving, you're going to find it very hard to get traction. And you really want to be able to get traction in a spot, in a good position, so that you can make progress in your business. Thanks for watching Stat Startup's Essential Business Building Blocks training on the marketing basics. You should have gained a much deeper understanding of some of the key elements here that you're going to need to start your business right the first time. Now keep moving through the Stat Startup process in the coming videos. Up next is competitive analysis.